Hello there, and welcome to a beautiful Friday, October 5th, 2012. Well, yesterday I got a new haircut. It's the first new haircut that I have had in about 3 months, and it was grown out pretty heavily, and I was combing it over. Now, the point I'm trying to make is that I started getting this haircut 7 months ago, as you know, to go to my aunt's wedding in New York. And I was so happy with it aesthetically and functionally. It was so easy to maintain and hygienic for me that, I decided to keep it. Obviously, if your hair is longer, sometimes, if you're walking out in nature, and there's a lot of nature around me, you're going to get inchworms and, different plant matter in it. And, you never know what's carried on that. So, keeping it short is mostly a hygiene. And if there is any aesthetic to it, it's just like a sculpture. And what I wanted to talk to you about today is aesthetics versus hygiene, okay? And to begin this story, I heard a news report the other day about a morning anchor on KDT TV in Wisconsin named Jennifer Livingston. And Jennifer Livingston received a letter from somebody, not sure if it's a man or a woman, but it said in effect that her obesity was setting a bad example for viewers of the show, particularly children and young girls. And she wanted to kind of laugh the story off, evidently, but her husband, who was a lawyer, was not very pleased about this. And she went on the air publicly announcing that, yes, I am overweight, and obesity is not healthy. But that belongs on a doctor's note, not from a letter from another human being. And aside from the hurtfulness of such inappropriately rude comments, the fact of the matter is that her status as an overweight individual not reflect her journalistic integrity or her ability, and it is by no means selling obesity. But even after all of these years, it seems that a lot of people, especially Americans, I've noticed, and I'm sure most of Europe and westernized cultures, are still very, very obsessed with appearance. I saw my father especially criticized often unmercilessly, even by people at his job, for having long hair and a beard. And a few years ago, I found a great song by Gino Vanelli called New Fix for 76 that explained it so well. Whether your hair is short or long, the issue is not whether it's right or wrong, but as long as it's clean, right? And I really think that line is great. Cleanliness is important. But also, I think it's really unfair that in a more educated society, where there is so much well-rounded media exposure out there for those looking for it, that we're still judging by personal appearance in terms of employment. And even now, people like my father are still being treated poorly for the lengths of their hair and even their weight, as if, somebody's weight being bigger than normal, supposedly, being on television or being in a byline of a newspaper is encouraging other people to do so, or a long hair is somehow associated with filth. And the filth is somehow a moral statement about your community. Again, I'm going to quote somebody else. In the late 60s, Abby Hoffman, countercultural leader, Jerry Rubin, countercultural leader, made a statement that America was so hung up on soap, cleanliness, how it was and how white your teeth is. They weren't interested in the Vietnam War at that time or political problems or social issues in America. Their concern was that is your hair short and how white your teeth are. And his statement was that his generation, who didn't care about such things, were a revolutionary generation. Now, we all know that the counterculture sometimes seemed to celebrate filth almost as a reaction to the anal retentive cleanliness of the 50s. But there's a bell-shaped curve in the middle ground. I am not, thinking of brushing my teeth every hour or combing my hair just so every hour as an item of horror, socially to me. But, it does have a certain importance hygienically, and that's as far as I look, as long as it's clean. And as far as Jennifer Livingston is concerned, I fully support her if she is watching this video, or any of her supporters are, in the fact that, yes, she's aware that obesity is a problem for her personally, but it should not reflect her status as a journalist and is not encouraging other people to be overweight. And any comment otherwise is just plain bullying. Criticizing somebody endlessly, even in joking, about the length of their hair in this day and age is inappropriate. It wasn't appropriate in any day and age, but especially now. And political incorrectness aside, I think we seriously need to start thinking more in terms of what happens in here, and who we are in here, and who we are in our hearts, than how our hair looks, and what clothes we're wearing, or whether we're clean shaven. You know, this is not one of those daytime talk shows where you have a woman come on to have her boyfriend or her husband get a makeover and make them basically look essentially like I am now. If they want to wear their long hair, as long as it's clean and hygienic, let them wear their long hair and their beards. It is completely ridiculous. People should wear whatever hair they want. I mean, unless it's an industrial problem, it's absurd. And I think that one of the things, in addition to our thoughts about human sexuality, that we need to recover from in our society today is our emphasis on placing too much emphasis on personal appearance. And that's my thoughts for the day. See you next time.